child of the 70s and 80s. That's probably what happened to me. So, welcome everybody. My name is Don Kaufman. We're going to get started here momentarily. I'm just making sure that you guys are tuned in. You see us all right, hear us all right. I'm actually going to watch some of the commentary on here kind of in real time. So bear with me. I'm moving all my screens around. I must be able to see what is going on in real time. Cool. So old enough for 8-track. I kind of remember that. It's that's edgy with me, you know. I'm more cassette tape error, and then only old enough to remember getting CDs shipped to me. So, welcome. Obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about markets throughout the course of today's session. Hey, chime in where everybody's kind of joining us from today. I'm always kind of interested. Um, awesome. Okay. 45s. Hey, you're giving away your age over there. So, cool. I'm just seeing where everybody's joining us from. I am broadcasting today. So, although I live in the Virgin Islands now for about more than half the year, I'm kind of stuck in Arizona a bit more here in 2024. So I'm broadcasting from Paradise Valley. It's just outside Scottsdale, Arizona, New York, tropical Toronto. I don't know what that means, but the tropics are about to be frozen there in very, very soon. So, what do you have? You have about 3 more weeks left to live in Toronto, and it's batten down the hatches. Hmm? All right, cool. People scattered around sunny Spain. Okay, I'm good with that. There's actually quite a number of Canadians in here. Cool. Sun City, Arizona. Right. By the way, it's still it's like late September here. I think it's going to be like 105 or 106 today. I am done with it. I do not like it. Okay, I do not like it one little bit. If you're in Tampa, that storm is going to get close there. I know that this time of the year you keep an eye on the map. So S&Ps today are up some 7 handles. Interestingly enough, like the last 2 days got a little quiet in the marketplace. It's not going to stay quiet for very long. We're going to be looking at everything from like bond markets today, a little bit about volatility. Definitely going to discuss skew to some degree. So strap in. By the way, if there are some stocks that you do want to talk about throughout the course of today, please chime in. Somebody actually just mentioned like gold and silver. Cool. I'm actually looking for a gold trade myself right now. That's when I've been shopping for a while. I just tell you though, in gold, any commodity, the dollar makes me really nervous right now. Like really nervous in the dollar right now. Because and by the way, anybody that's in gold, you should understand. Like the dollar down is obviously very positive for gold. Gold's spurting once again to the upside. That's the only thing you could really say about gold lately. But a lot of it has to do with a dramatically weaker dollar. What's really crazy about it? We're only if you look back, this is like a 3 year chart that you're looking at on the dollar right now. We're only like 2.5 years away. Everybody's like, you got to go to Europe. It's dirt cheap. Now you're like, okay, don't go to Europe. It's kind of expensive right now. So the euro versus the U.S. dollar has really picked up. Okay, here's where it was cheap, and now it's not so cheap. Anyway, with that, so let's go ahead and get started here. So again, if there's any other, okay. By the way, I'm not Doomsday Dollar, not at all. Am I muted? I'm definitely not muted, but you couldn't hear that. If there are some stocks again that you do want to talk about, please chat those in. It's interesting. It's pretty quiet when I ask that question. People are like, "No, it's all right. I'll just talk about where I'm from." And then, I mean, today is NVIDIA. It's an NVIDIA kind of day. Somebody just mentioned that a moment ago. It's absolutely correct. The entire marketplace is actually being dragged higher. Interestingly enough, the financials this morning are not just down. They're actually down quite dramatically, over 1%. And here's something very interesting, is that the energy sector, which was up bigly this morning, the energy sector was up big, is it too has kind of faded a little bit over there. So fantastic. Everybody good? Okay. Making sure we're all good to go. Anyway, just look at this. Yeah, it's NVIDIA versus the world over here. It's good stuff. Um, hmm. Okay, couple of stocks in here. Nice. A few I've heard of, a few I've not. It's not too often I come in here and like, I've never heard of that before. Okay. Yeah, China today, anything, okay, that is China or China ADR. ADR means American Depository Receipt, is going to be exploding to the upside. China did a massive stimulus program in overnight, which popped every one of their stocks out there. All right, let's get started here. So again, I got a little informal there. It's okay. By the way, everybody always asks the same questions over here. Can you ask questions? Of course, you can ask questions. I am watching some of the chat now in real time. So you guys are actually listening to this. There's absolutely no delay. You're listening to it literally in real time right now. So welcome everybody. Again, my name is Don Kaufman. This is the 24-hour profit windows. And we're going to go in quite some depth here about a very specific trade that I've been using quite readily as of late. So let's get right down to it. So risk disclosure. This is mine. This is not yours. Now, look, I spent a long time in the brokerage world, so I always throw up a risk disclosure. And I'm thrilled right now not to be dealing with FINRA or Securities Exchange Commission. No more. It's a copyright disclaimer. Look, if you need to get a hold of me after today, one of the reasons I throw this up here, just go to support@theotrade.com. We answer emails. We do. Put Don Kaufman in the subject. Put Don Kaufman in the subject. It goes directly to me. So by all means, shoot us an email if you've got questions today, after today. It's okay. That's what we are here for. All right, a few housekeeping items. Look, I'm going to go through a huge amount in the next, approximately hour, right? Shut the door, turn off Skype, chat, whatever else might be distracting you. Okay. Get rid of Facebook. It's a social media. Get rid of Facebook. Okay. Phones on silent mode. Definitely kick out the kids, the grandkids. Okay. The dog can stay. But all I'm saying here is you took the time to be here. Focus. This is going to take some focus because I'm going to go through quite a significant amount. I'm also going to give you kind of the nickel tour if you're unfamiliar with TheoTrade. By the way, is anybody here brand new, has no idea what a Don Kaufman or a TheoTrade is? And it's okay. Come on, people, admitting it is the first step. But I'll just give you, as I said, like a little bit of like the nickel tour over here. So I've been in this business. Everybody always has a story of like how they got involved in trading. I kind of grew up around it. I did grow up around it. I've had family that were on the floors in Chicago, and again, that just kind of enticed me to get involved in it. I had no intention of ever going into finance. That's not what I studied in school. Anyway, 3 weeks outside of college, I went to Chicago, kind of on a whim. One of my cousins was there on a whim. I go to Chicago. I started trading. I met a couple of individuals down in the OEX pit. And remember the OEX, the S&P 100. Met a couple traders in the OEX pit, and this is about 18 months into my career. I'm all of 23 years old, and they said, we're starting a brokerage firm. You're young, you're a kid. Why don't you come on the with us and start this brokerage firm? And that brokerage firm happened to be called Thinkorswim. So I grew up around it. I joined Thinkorswim. I was very, very early Thinkorswim. I was on the executive team when we took the company public in 2007, had a spectacular exit, of course, of Thinkorswim. In 2009, TD Ameritrade bought us. I actually signed a 5-year lockup clause with TD Ameritrade. I eventually exited in early 2015, and ultimately we built TheoTrade. But some of the core of the education team from both Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade, that is what is TheoTrade. So if you're ever on like the Thinkorswim platform, you're like, this is a cool model, or the Analyze tab, or for instance, charts. We have Jeff Bierman here at TheoTrade. We built a lot of the tech that some of you are trading on every single day. And one of the reasons I really actually put some weight into this, one of the things that we did that a lot of people are not aware of, we were Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade. We had the largest options order flow, okay, at the time, bar none, and we studied it. That's how we actually built education. So we have learned over the years, okay, from watching billions in other people's mistakes and the knowledge of what works best, specifically for retail traders. And what I'm about to display to you specifically today comes from exactly that. It's from watching that order flow. So it's again, it's a little bit about my background. Obviously, since 2016 is when we launched TheoTrade. Obviously, we've been here ever since. And I say we, it's myself, it's Blake Young, it's Brandon Chapman, it's Jeff Bierman, it's Gianni DePoce, it's Corey Rosenblum, it's Tony Rago. Those are just a few of the traders that are here with us at TheoTrade. So, and by the way, yes, somebody's like, Thinkorswim is a Schwab product. Yes, that's, we build Thinkorswim, sell it to TD Ameritrade. After TD Ameritrade 5 years ago, bye. Then Schwab bought them. And I'm like, that's just brutal. Okay. Working for the man. I'm done with it. I still do, this is TD Ameritrade TV, which is now the Schwab Network. I'm usually on there like once a week. I am on there once a week, a pretty standard spot. It's Wednesday mornings. This is a quick clip of CNBC. I just throw this one up there. I've done a couple of CNBC hits, but pit it against Kevin O'Leary is good stuff. Look, let's get down to business. This is why you're here. So we're going to talk about profit windows and what they are. All right. So what these profit windows are, why these profit windows are opening over and over. And I actually elected to discuss this specifically, okay, today, because this is by far and away the hottest trade. I'm going to show you exactly why right now, okay, and how to take advantage of these time-sensitive windows. Look, I've been going after the profit windows. I've been rating these windows. I am right now, okay, out of the last 27 trades, I've had 23 wins. So 27 windows have actually opened, 23 wins out of it. So I am on quite a little hot streak on this, but let's get down to business. What is a 24-hour profit window? And I'm going to describe this in quite some detail because in effect, what happens is a trade opportunity, okay, opens. We have, and somebody was asking a question a moment ago about like, oh, when do I put the trade on? Generally speaking, you have, okay, a full day to be able to get that trade on. And I want to tell you guys that right up front. I don't want any if, and, or but about it. You have about, okay, that 24-hour window. And it's actually one of the reasons we call it the 24-hour profit window, to kind of stick to your guns and to get these particular positions on. Positions, okay, this is one of the trades that I've done. And I do want to display something. Some of the trades I'm going to show you here are extremely recent. If you're seeing these on your screen right now, okay, this is a trade. And I'm showing you right now, this is the opening date, the closing date, okay? What these are screenshots. And I actually, I took these screenshots specifically from Thinkorswim. I actually do trade on Tasty now quite a bit. So I kind of toggle back and forth, but I have a lot of clientele that are still intimately familiar with Thinkorswim. How many people here are kind of familiar with Thinkorswim? Yeah, right. So a lot of you are. So I wanted to show you though exactly where the screenshots, because one thing I'm very adamant about, very, very adamant about here at TheoTrade, okay, we are completely no holds barred. Okay. And what that basically means is everything that I do and everything that I trade, okay, you have access to it. And I like to show like, okay, I'm pulling up 60 days in Apple. All I'm showing you in Apple, okay, these are the opening trades. This is the closing trade. So what I did, okay, and what you're going to see on my screenshots, okay, because some people like, oh yeah, it's all about a slide deck. It's not all about a slide deck, okay. This is live. This is the Thinkorswim platform. I'm pulling up my order history for you because I don't want to hear some crap that, oh, look, it looks good. Okay. No, I'm showing you the actual trades. And what I did is I took those trades and just copied them and pasted them into the slide deck. So in this trade, every $170 invested, I got back 233. It's a 37% return. Now, time out for 1 second. Okay. That's assuming you did one contract. This could be, okay, this could be every, for instance, $1,700 I collected, right? This could be every $1,700 I collected. I got back, $2,333. That's also very, very reasonable. But I just wanted to show you some recent stuff in here. Okay. This is actually a Boeing trade. Every $117 invested, I got back 182. It's 56% return. Okay. Here's an XLE spread. Every $94 invested, I got back 147. It's a 56% return. Okay. Here's a TLT, a little bit more recent. Every $86 invested, I got back 142. That's a 65% return. By the way, you will see me use TLT. Everybody familiar with that? Okay, everybody familiar with that one? Because the one thing that I'm also very very adamant about. Okay, if you by the way, if your screen is fuzzy, change the resolution. Okay, make sure you're at the highest resolution. All right, and I'm going to show you exactly that. Okay, you just come in here, change the resolution, make sure it's cranked. Okay, very important. I want you guys to be able to see this. Okay, so what does it take, to be able to place trades like this? And we'll talk about the loss. And people are like, whoa, what's this? What's this? Okay. You can see everything I had at risk. There's no if and or but about it. Because if you're looking like, you 27 trades and 23 winners, it's pretty good. You can see exactly what my risk is in every single trade, right? TLT though is it's something. It's just the bond product. I love it. I've been trading in and out of the bond product like at least 2 trades a month lately, because bonds are the hottest thing going right now. And some people are like, I don't even know what that is. Look, what I want to get into on the 24-hour profit window, okay, specifically is, okay, what is it? Like, what is, okay, the meat behind this? Like, what's the setup? Like, you think about everything that's going on out there, right? So, what we have here, and why this is such viability right now, is a confluence, okay, of three very critical kind of forces kind of coming together. So I'm actually going to explain these in some detail. So I'm going to start with skew. Skew is providing a phenomenal advantage right now. Now, listen, I know that some people are tuned in right now. They're like, I don't even know what a skew is. Because it's just, by the way, again, it's okay. How many people here? Because we got a lot of people on. How many people here are familiar with skew? Hmm? Huh? How many people are familiar with skew? It's okay if you're not. Okay. When you trade, okay, there's a distortion, if you will, all right, in how things are priced. And the skew, okay, is how we measure. Like when you talk about skew, it's how you measure distortion. For those of you that are engineers, you're like, oh, he's getting into kurtosis. Okay, just calm down. Then we have expected move and goat liquidity. Okay, and what goat liquidity, it literally means the greatest of all, time liquidity. As ironic as that may seem, okay, if you trade a stock called Joe's Tree Cutting Service, you have no chance. And I'm actually going to explain that in some detail. So I have experience in this business on the market making side. I have experience in this business on the brokerage side. Okay. And obviously, we have experience on the education side. So we're going to do, okay, what is in your best interest, you, the retail trader. And this is the trade. So I'm going to explain in quite some detail here what a little bit about that skew is. I'm actually going to start with this, and I'm going to dig a little bit deeper. We talk about skew. For some people that do not know this, let's come right over here. And I'm going to jump right into Thinkorswim. I'm going to close up this left side bar, and I'm actually going to type in a symbol. And you're looking at an intraday chart. And now I'm going to go to a daily chart, right? That's Apple. Let's type in skew. And you're like, it looks like a dot plot. Skew looks like a dot plot. But now I'm going to pull up 15 years of skew data. 15 years of it. Okay. And again, just time out for a second. 15 years. I don't even know what skew is. It's okay. Okay. What I am going to tell you, okay, is not only is it okay that if you don't really know what skew is, which I'm going to explain momentarily, what I want you to understand up front, the simplicity is this. Basically, it's at an all-time high. All-time high. Okay. We had the highest skew ever recorded just the other day. What's the other day? Okay. The other day is, well, literally the other day on the 19th, we actually had the highest skew ever recorded. It's never before been recorded. And that skew is providing an incredible pricing advantage specifically, okay, in these 24-hour profit windows. So that is one very critical aspect. And again, the skew, for those of you that want to speak like, complete nuttiness, here it is. What skew actually is, it's the out of the money put implied volatility versus the out of the money call implied volatility. Okay, it's the differential between the two, and it's actually like a distortion, if you will, in pricing. Okay, the bigger the distortion in this particular case, the more effective we are. And there's a lot of reasons for the distortion. Think about what's going on in the world right now. Okay, you can think about, you're like, oh, geopolitical risk. That could be. There's an election coming up. That could be. The Fed just like, wow, out of nowhere, cut 50 basis points. That could be. I mean, there is such an incredible confluence, okay, of risk events going on. And it's like, but the marketplace keeps going up. It's okay. Okay. We're going to be agnostic to what you think. What's the future of the world? It doesn't matter because these trades simply don't care. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about expected move, right? And I'm going to show you, by the way, expected move. Oh yeah, that helps me find trades like this. Okay, this is like XHB. Every $88 invested, I got back 117, a 33% return. Then we go to GLD. Somebody was asking about gold. Okay, GLD. This is gold, and this is actually opened June 25th, closed July 5th. Every $110 invested, I got back 179. That's a 63% return in GLD. And I want to remind everybody, because they look at this, they go, really, man? Okay, look, I'm showing you the lowest common denominator. You can do this trade with as little as 110. You have no more risk than 110. Let's not get crazy. Okay. That could be $1,100 to get back $1,790. Okay. And yes, I will definitely mention a little bit more about skew. Okay. And then we come on to XLF. I like to trade, by the way, if you guys haven't picked up on this, I like to trade ETFs. What's ETFs? Okay. ETFs. It's like a composite of everything, right? So here are the financials, the XLF. I'm not going to get into the logistics of every single ETF. Ironically, if you like Berkshire Hathaway, that's the number one constituent of the XLF. This is the financial sector, right? This was the gold. This is what? Home builders. Home builders, gold, okay, XLF. Again, this is every $84 invested. I got back 134. It's a 60% return. But we're going deeper. We're going deeper. So why, okay, are these windows opening now? As I said a moment ago, the forces are kind of coming together. I'm front running myself here. The forces are kind of coming together really like never before, right? What do you have? First of all, two-sided trade. The one thing that is really apparent, okay, is that the market as a whole, let's talk about the market for just a moment. And again, I like to make this dynamic. I don't like to spend time on slides. Like I like to spend time, okay? I'm a trader, we trade. So I like to spend time here. But when you look at the spiders, okay, this is the S&P. Where's the S&P go? You're like, there's no two-sided trade. That thing just goes straight up. But in most stocks, in most things like, I was mentioning TLT a moment ago. That's the bond market. What's the bond market doing? Okay. Bond market's just wild and woolly. This is what I term two-sided trade. Look at this is a 9-month chart, right? In 9 months, it went down, it went up, down, up, and so down. So, oh yeah, I'm all over this. Okay. Look, that's like the dream come true. Are you looking right now and you're thinking like, well, what's he? This is a MACD and the Fibonacci and a Bollinger Band. None of that matters. Okay. What do I need? I need two-sided trade. What do I need? I need a little volatility. You look at stuff like Microsoft. This is two-sided trade. I know you look at the S&P 500, like the S&P 500 only goes up. Okay, great. You won't see one trade inside of the S&P. I haven't traded the spiders for this trade. I haven't traded the spiders. I trade stuff that's got two-sided trade. You look at stuff like Apple. It only goes up. Apple has gone up, but there's two-sided trade. Okay, and you got to love it. You look at the financials over here. Yeah, the financials are going up. Look at how wild and woolly they've been. Okay. And somebody was mentioning Costco a moment ago. No, you'll see it periodically. I'll trade something in there. But again, right, we want to be in a marketplace, okay, that looks like a chopped out, just mess out there, two-sided trade, volatility returns. It's kind of ironic because whenever I mention volatility, people go, well, the VIX isn't that high. The VIX, look, the VIX is not really a great measurement of volatility. It's not. Everybody looks at the VIX. Yeah, and everybody's been looking at the VIX since it came out, 20 something years ago. This is my predecessor's volatility indicator, right? This is not a great indication. You want to really get into volatility, you got to go to VVIX. That's the volatility index. Okay, look at this. We got volatility returns, and then we actually have skew and VVIX, right? So I go VVIX, and you go, what's the VVIX? It's the volatility in the VIX. If you really want to know what's going on in the marketplace, stop looking at the VIX. Look at the volatility of the VIX, because the volatility of the VIX is actually telling you what the professionals are doing in this business. And that, people, is rocking. Look at that. Because right now, as I said, these 24-hour profit windows, they are hot. Okay. And it has a lot to do with the fact that, look at this, that has picked up substantially and is not abating. You know what's actually crazy about this? When you open up, I want you to open up a 3-year chart. By the way, I have the 110 level marked. Why is 110 level? When you're above 110 in VVIX, okay, that's like duck and cover, get underneath your desk and start rocking back and forth kind of thing. That does it for me. But look how high this really is. Okay. This right now, this is where VVIX is right now. Okay. This is presently like this is the top of where we've been for a considerable period of time. Like over the last, couple of years, like 3 years back, it's rocking right now. This has a huge amount to do with the effectiveness right now that we're seeing. And as I said, okay, we have this confluence. It's two-sided trade and volatility returns and the skew is lovely right now, and that is not going anywhere. And then, of course, we have what we term expected move. And for those of you that don't know what expected move is, and somebody actually asked me again, about skew. Skew is a distortion. It's out of the money put implied vol versus out of the money call implied vol. And when the skew is big, it gives us very advantageous pricing. Okay, the trade itself that we put on, it's not like the trade is better right now. No, but the trade is cheaper right now. Okay, it's going there and it's like having a coupon for a trade. What I mean by that, like an actual significantly priced discount. Okay, if you know what to look for. So you've got these confluences, and then you actually tag in expected move. And for those of you that don't know expected move, I'm actually going to show you expected move. Expected move. Let's go into something like, let's go to IWM. You guys know what IWM is? The Russell. I was talking about two-sided trade. I was talking about volatility. I was talking about Mr. Toad's wild ride. Here you go. Let's go look at expected move, okay, inside of IWM. It's the Russell, all right? So inside of the Russell, okay, what expected move is, and you can see it's totally flat. So I'm going to zoom in really, really tight for you guys. Ready? Okay. This is the upper edge of an expected move. This is the lower edge of an expected move. We're unchanged right now. This is how the option marketplace is handicapping forward risk. It's how the option marketplace is handicapping forward risk. And the option marketplace, okay, just for example, last week in the SPX, I think everybody's kind of familiar with SPX, the S&P. Last week, $3.7 trillion expired in this product. $3.7 trillion of options expired in here. Trillion with a T. Okay. And it moves markets. This is a market mover. And everybody in the industry looks at expected move. And most people are not aware of really how to take advantage of that. Okay. And that is what leads me to stuff like XLU. If you look at XLU, every $77 invested, I got back 123. It's a 60% return. And you're looking at this, you're like, wait, what? Okay, what'd you see in the expected move? That's exactly what we're going to get to. All right, XLY. Once again, by the way, you see anything interesting over here? Like, I'm not trading anything crazy, like XLU, XLY, XLF. I told you I like ETFs. Why? Okay, I don't really like Jamie Dimon comes out and he goes, surprise! Who needs that crap? Don't make this business any harder than it has to be. So every $84 I invested, I got back 113 at 35% return. Okay. Here's one in an equity. Okay. In an equity. Every $95 invested, I got back 155 at 63% return. What equity? It's Morgan Stanley. It's Morgan Stanley. And again, these are some, fairly recent trades. I'm just trying to pick stuff out. Okay. For the last just couple of months, obviously the last like 27 trades. Okay. It takes a few months to put those on. And in doing so, look, you don't have to load up on a ton of positions over here to do this. And people are curious about the risk. It's $95. That's it. Now, going through some of the confluences in here, right? And we're talking about like expected move. And I actually want to drop back to that for just a second. What are you really looking for in expected move? Okay, what am I really looking for? I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm looking for. Let's go over to Home Depot. Okay, take a look at Home Depot. This is the possibility of a candidate right now. Why is this a candidate? Anybody know? Why can this be a candidate? Anybody? Okay. By the way, the last one, somebody was asking about the last trade that did not work out. Well, I have one on right now. It's not going to work out. HYG, which was junk, didn't work out. And I have one at XLU that's not going to work out. Those are the only two that I've taken hits on more recently. Okay. Take a look at this. Home Depot is exploding to the upside. You want to know something interesting about this, though? This is actually an incredible contrarian trade. What a contrarian trade is look at this. We're exploding outside the expected move in a consecutive week, outside the expected move. Look at this, all right? So I'm actually getting into this. By the way, this is a trade that I have not yet placed, okay? I'm pricing it right now for the possibility. And I'm actually showing it to you, though, of one of the setups. And I'm not getting too crazy into detail over here, but this is a breach of expected move. So it's like a statistical aberration. If this is a distribution curve, we're way outside. It's like way out here. And then it happened again the next week. And then a third week in a row. Statistically, okay, very improbable. Okay. Now I'm not looking for a huge pullback, but this thing, it is going to pull back. Okay, when's it going to pull back? Now, this is not using, I'm not using any MACDs, no Fibonacci's, no Bollinger Bands. All I'm using is an extremely quantitative tool called expected move. And what the expected move is based on, it's not based on backward looking data. Okay, I'm not driving 100 miles an hour looking through my rear view mirror. Every technical study is based on rear facing data. I'm actually looking at expected move in this case. Expected move, it's the options marketplace handicapping forward risk. And you got to realize there's billions of dollars being traded in this, and billions of dollars got it wrong. Billions of dollars got it wrong 2 weeks in a row. Billions of dollars are getting it wrong third week in a row. That's wild stuff. You look for a pullback in here. Okay. It's not just about like, oh, it's a rally and I see a rally and I want to get short. Okay. But then it's a matter of actually going in to be able to build a trade, which takes 2 seconds to be able to do. Look, here's XLU. As I was saying, XLU, okay, XLY, Morgan Stanley, but the final confluence. So we talked a little bit about what? Skew and volatility and two-sided trading. That is back, baby. Okay. And it is back in a big way. And I'm going to tell you right now, between skew, volatility, okay, those two alone, they're not going to abate anytime soon. I think a lot of people, they look at this and they're like, oh, they're worried. They're like, well, they're hot right now, but after the election, this isn't going away. We're still going to have geopolitical risk. By the way, I'm not sure if skew is being caused by the election. In fact, I'm fairly certain it's not the election that's causing the skew. Geopolitical risk has a lot to do with it. There's no question about that. But more than that is the wild nature of the Fed right now. It's completely ambiguous as to what Fed is going to look like even a month from now. You guys realize they're pricing in right now, they're pricing in another 50 basis point cut. Some wild stuff. Why are they cutting? Because the economy is so good. The final confluence in here. Again, that skew is not going anywhere. The volatility is not going anywhere as long as the Fed remains incredibly ambiguous. Okay. Again, ultimately, okay, these trades are going to be around, and that's critical. Final confluence is GOAT liquidity. Now, one thing I want to tell you about GOAT liquidity. GOAT liquidity literally means, like, if you're not familiar with the phrase GOAT, it's the greatest of all time. Liquidity has to be there. Look at this, like QQQ. This is QQQ. Every $81 invested, I got back 112. It's a 38% return. And when I'm talking about the QQQ, it's one of the most liquid products in the entire industry. Okay. Before I even show you another trade, I just want to scream it out. Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. People constantly ask me, they go, well, given your confluence, okay, just bear with me for a second. Given the confluence, okay, can I scan for this? And I say, there's almost no reason to even have to scan. I can look down the list. Like, if you want to know what I trade, it's on the screen right now. Look, like stuff like Meta. Want to know why I trade this? Okay, it's doing 215,000 contracts today. 215,000 contracts. That's sick. And yet at the same time, it's nothing in comparison to Tesla, which is doing 1.5 million contracts today, which is nothing in comparison to Nvidia, which is doing 3 point almost 4 million contracts today. You know, you can scan for everything you possibly want, and it's going to come up and go, I'm trading Joe's tree cutting service. You have no chance. The bid offer spreads and the liquidity has got to be there. You want to be in this business the smallest fish in the biggest plausible pond of liquidity out there. Okay. Even stuff like you saw me doing trades like in Boeing. Okay. Even Boeing, like it's not bad, but it's like 61,000 contracts. But it's almost like 61,000 contracts these days is like that's questionable. It's crazy how good liquidity is in certain products and how poor it is in others. You go a little bit off the beaten path over here. Like I was showing you a trade on Morgan Stanley. I'm going to be honest with you. Morgan Stanley's dried up. Okay. That's a liquidity drought in there. It's like 8,000 contracts. I traded more than that yesterday. Okay. I wish I was joking about that. We did a trade yesterday in TLT. Okay. Look at the open interest in this trade. This is us. When I say us, this is Theo trade. This is a trade I put on yesterday. It's a bullish trade right here. Okay. It's a bullish trade. And you can see there's another 780 contracts. But yesterday we did over 5,000 contracts on each side of the trade. We did over 10,000 contracts on just that trade. Okay. There are that many people, all right, that are actually following us into these trades. So in QQQ, again, every $81 invested, I got back 112 to 38% return. In Meta, you haven't seen anything on my screen that's not liquid. In Meta, every $225 invested, I got back $293. It's a 30% return. Here's another one in TLT, okay? The king of TLT. By the way, is this a recent enough trade? Now, this is an unusual one because I put it on one day and took it off the next. That was actually kind of intentional in here. Every $92 invested, I got back 124. It's a 35% return literally in one day. We're talking about 24-hour profit windows. And well, in 24 hours, this window had opened and closed. That was a Fed-based trade. This was like a Fed-based trade. It paid off almost instantaneously. Okay, here's another one in Wells Fargo. Every $78 invested, I got back 106 to 36% return in one day, right? So next, okay, IWM, as I was displaying a moment ago, okay, every $81 I invested, I got back 127. It's a 57% return, okay? Look, these new 24-hour profit windows, they're opening up right now. As I said to you, okay, go out and we can raid them together. There are just ample, okay, windows opening. What actually creates the window, because somebody just said it. So what really creates it? It's a confluence of the events. It's just a confluence of events. The final one, the real kicker to it, liquidity is critical. The skew is critical, but the real kicker to it, it's expected move. And it's actually the setup. And that's why I say, generally speaking, that window opens for a period of about 24 hours. There are people curious about the TLT trade. TLT trade, okay, this trade, we just put it on yesterday. It's still within 5 cents of where I initially placed it. Okay, this trade is literally within 5 cents of where I initially placed it. That window, though, right here, right now, it's coming to a close because you can see in terms of the expected move. Look what actually occurred here. Huge breach of expected move, hitting the upper edge, okay, pulling back, getting bullish in here. There's great, okay, great confluence, again, of events inside the TLT. We're going to go out and we're going to raid these together, all right? And what I'm ultimately doing, okay, look, here's what we'll use to raid these windows. All right, introducing the in-out advantage. That's actually the trade that I've been showing you this. I use the in-out advantage to raid the windows. That's the strategy ultimately behind that, the confluence of events, and then I execute upon it. Get in and out, okay, of the profit window. And you've got about 24 hours to do so. In-out advantages. All right, look at this. You never have to buy the stock. Okay, people want to know what the risk is. In this particular case, the trade down below is 82 cents of risk. 82 cents of risk. And I can set these up time and again with very nominal risk. The trade I did yesterday inside of TLT had 90 cents of risk. Risk can be dialed into precisely your comfort level. And I actually want to bring this up for a moment because there's a lot of questions firing in about it. But look, okay, if I go out there and I do a trade like this, I don't have to risk okay, $82. I can go out there, I could even tighten this up and risk half that, but I could also risk $820, right? I could go out there and risk $8,200. You got to make of it what you're comfortable, okay, with it. I'm showing you in here the lowest common denominator. I'm doing that because, look, there's no day trading margin regulations in here. You don't have to worry about any of that. You're never going to use a stop order. Somebody wanted to know what the maximum risk is. In this case, in the IWM, if the world fell apart, by the way, if the world fell apart, this would be a profitable trade. This is a bearish one. But, okay, if I lost everything on this trade, it's 82 cents. That's it. If I lost everything on this trade, it's 82 cents. You can vary time frames and not pay more. That's something also really wild with this trade. There's so many people they don't get it. Like if I go to the TLT, okay, here's a trade that I did yesterday in the TLT, right? Everybody see it? You realize I can actually switch the expiration date. I can go further out in time. The trade doesn't cost more. Let me show you that again. I can take the trade and I can say, well, I can do it for the November expiration. Okay. People always say, well, options cost more the more time you have. I can go to the December expiration, cost the exact same. Okay. I can even go to the January expiration. Okay. You got to dial that in. You got to look at that. Vary time frames and not pay more. The probability of profitability is incredibly high. Think about, okay, the realization you have $82 at risk or $820 at risk, depending upon what you want to do in this trade. With that kind of risk, you have a stomach of steel. You don't need a stop order. You just sit in the trade and say, here we go. Okay. If it goes against you, let it go against you. What's the worst that's going to happen? No, you're going to lose $82 bucks, $820. That's the worst you can possibly do. You realize with having a stomach of steel like that, you could actually stay in the trade longer, have higher degrees of, and what? Probability of profitability goes up because you don't need a stop order. It's the perfect trade to reduce risk of a stock portfolio. And it's an excellent tool for those seeking to build a smaller account. It's critical. And if you have no time, no problem. Look, I'm really getting to every trade shown today was displayed live at TheoTrade. Every trade that I'm showing you today was also, texted and shot out via push notification, to literally everybody here, at TheoTrade. The in-out advantage is hands off. You even can use set and forget order types. If you're not familiar with that terminology, when I say set and forget, what am I really saying? This is what we term a GTC. And write that up again and see if I can do a better job. GTC, that stands for good till canceled order types. And those good till canceled order types, you can literally follow us into a trade, and then set good till canceled. So even a fraction of your time is enough to see results, because once you have the trade on, you can say exit at this particular price. That's it. Introducing trade alerts. Look, what we are doing with these 24-hour profit windows is when they are opening up, we are now firing alerts in real-time trade along with us. The in-out advantage, lifetime access to it. What's a lifetime? My lifetime, your lifetime access is $997. It's not just trade alerts. We're not just gonna, here's your trade alert and you're on your way. I am not only the instructor for a class based on this, but I am also the trader for the portfolio. I'm trading in-outs constantly, In-out advantage, weekly trade alerts. So in an average year, and I'm going to go through all of this, in an average year, you're going to get approximately 52 different alerts. This year, we're probably a little heavier than that, meaning you're going to get even more than that. In addition, to some of the alerts, we're going to provide you a 12-week mastermind live with Brandon Chapman, literally 12 weeks, all around. And I actually put an entire syllabus together, which I'll go through here in a moment. This is 12-week mastermind, all about setups, all about the confluence that we're looking for, whether it's the skew, whether it's goat of liquidity, whether it's the expected move. By the way, there's going to be 2 sessions exclusively inside of that mastermind. And most people realize like a mastermind unto itself is like $2,000. We're including it. The mastermind starts October 3rd. Every single session is recorded. I will also provide weekly video updates. So every trade that we do, every trade that we make, you're going to see full Monty. Why did I get into it? When did I get into it? The open, the close. Look, you don't have to take every single trade, but it isn't important for somebody to explain to you why they took a trade. 8 minutes. You give me 8 minutes a week, and I will actually update you on every single trade that we're in and every single trade that I'm thinking about putting on. All right. Then we do the in and out advantage quick start beginner's guide. So there's some people that are just like, that's it. I'm ready to go. I want to trade. Okay. I still want you to go to the 12-week mastermind. It's included. Again, the masterminds, normally you'd pay $2,000 for a mastermind. We're including it because we know that the viability and the longevity of our clientele, okay, is infinitely better having more education on this front, right? So in out advantage on-demand masterclass, okay, I put together, okay, an entire course specifically on in-outs, but okay, Brandon's going to go into much greater depth than I could possibly do in a 4-hour class. Then, okay, we actually have the entire portfolio, and the portfolio is the in-out advantage trade tracker, where you'll be able to see every single trade that I'm in. And of course, auto expected move. We will provide to you the auto expected move, right? All the details. Again, lifetime access is $997. If you go to theotrade.com/out, okay? And I'm going to take you there in just a moment, but I want you guys to know, again, it's theotrade.com/out. There's actually a link to it. Now, as I kind of get into it, right, on all of this, and then this is the one thing that people don't really get about TheoTrade. Look, we want people that want to be here. There's a 90-day money back guarantee on all of it, okay? Because we want to make sure that, look, if it's for you, do you want to trade with us? Okay. If you want to trade with us, you want to try it out, you want to see how it is. Okay. And by the way, I know some people get kind of crazy. They judge us on like a first trade. Okay. Give it a little bit of time. All right. Over what? The next 90 days, you're going to get quite a number of trades in there. Again, over the next 90 days, you're going to get a number of trades in there. Okay. So I urge you, trade with us a little bit. There's a 90-day money back guaranteed. I'm going to go through all the details. Okay. For $1,000, incredible what we're actually putting together in this particular package. Right. So again, it's theotrade.com/out. Okay. It's always an out, U-T. Okay. Theotrade.com/out. I do want to take you through the money back guarantee. It's $1,000 at any point in the next 90 days. No excuses, no questions, no commentary. Shoot us an email. You don't have to call us. You don't have to give blood. People, it's $1,000. We want people that want to be here. There's no stipulations on the money back guarantee at all. Okay. And again, it's a full 90-day. And I want you guys to know, look, you can attend, you can watch the masterclass, you can attend, 12-week mastermind with Brandon Chapman. That'll be bleeding a little bit over that, but you'll get the point. It's 90 days. Okay. Look, as I said, we want people that want to be here. We want to make sure that you're comfortable with the strategy. We want to make sure that you're comfortable with executing, okay, in and out of these. You get to view all of the course material. You get to view Brandon Chapman live. And again, I'm going to take you through in detail what that really amounts to. And there's still, whatever, it's a 90-day money back guarantee on there. So come in here and scroll to the bottom of the screen. By the way, it's a single payment of $997, okay, or 2 payments of $500. That's completely up to you. I'll give you a phone number here in a moment that you can actually call us if you're more comfortable. Some people just are not really comfortable with, adding any credit card information. Okay, that's fine. You can call us. Let me go in detail though about what is actually included with lifetime access. The first aspect, and one of the reasons and primary reason that people come here, of course, is the trade alerts. Okay, you get 1 trade alert per week. Now, time out. Sometimes I'm actually going to do 2 trade alerts a week, and then I'll go dark for like a week. It's not because I'm like leaving or on vacation. You got to trade based on the markets, right? It got really quiet today. It's got really, really quiet today, but I was still able to execute into a TLT trade yesterday, which I think is going to be very viable, right? So 1 alert per week on average. I say 4 alerts a month, unless of course it's a 5-week month. Okay, 52 alerts per year, 520 alerts per decade. You start to break down, over the next year or two, what it costs per trade for the alerts. Okay, it's phenomenally low. It's less than any commissions you're ever going to pay on any of the trades that you're going to do, and that's a big portion of it. It's $1,000. Break it down, 52 trades in here. Okay. Break it down over to like 5 years, 10 years. Okay. You're paying pennies for each one of the trades that are actually coming out on alerts. Okay. And by the way, we have been doing in outs since 2016. This is absolutely unequivocally, it is the first time we've ever offered like lifetime access. Okay. Because it's basically the best thing we got going right now. I mean, by far and away, it's in terms of those that kind of want to kick back and place a couple of trades with us. Okay. It's consistently been going and it's really, really hot right now because the skew is so good. So 520 alerts per decade. Okay. That's the first thing. And of course, those alerts are coming out to you. Okay. On the convenience of your mobile device. Those alerts also, we have push notifications. So we have, okay, TheoTrade Mobile. And I just want to take you into this briefly, but TheoTrade Mobile, here it is. Okay, we have our own mobile application where you can actually get push notifications. Okay, for those of you that are overseas, all right, you can't necessarily get text messages if you're out of the US. We do push notification. Very, very important. All right, so that's first and foremost, and it's like a $3,000 value. I mean, it's at least a $3,000 value. We're just giving $1,000 lifetime access, period. Okay. We want you guys, now look, we want you to be hooked on the trades. Okay. I'm hooked on the juice. I want you to be, hooked on the trades. It's great. Okay. By the way, somebody was asking about, commissions and email. Okay. Email notifications are really, really slow, really slow. Push is by far the fastest, right? But you might not see the push. So we're doing text and push. The reality is like email, unfortunately, a server to pop, anywhere from 5 to 6,000 emails out. It's an arduous process. Okay, so that's I'll get to that. Okay. By the way, commissions, it's 60, 65 cents a contract. It's pretty nominal. When I first started in this business, we were $10 plus. Okay, $1.50 for the trade. It's crazy. The commissions are pretty nominal. I'm more than happy though to put in commissions if that does it for you in there. So that's the next one on here. Okay, this is the mastermind. Now I put a huge amount of weight into this. It's a $2,000 value. This we just added. We just added this, and the reason is, okay, we look internally at our clientele, and that's how do we look at the clientele? Well, we actually say like, all right, longevity of clientele. Our clients that go through, okay, a 12-week mastermind, okay, are far, far more likely to have higher degrees of success than those that don't. I don't mind saying that. That's why we're giving you the mastermind. We're giving you the mastermind because we're telling you unequivocally, go through the mastermind. That's why we're providing it, okay? The keys to success are just sit through the mastermind. And I know that tortures some people and they just want to get alerts, but I'm telling you, your longevity, okay, your ability for success is increased incredibly in here. This costs us a lot of money to put on a mastermind, okay? It's totally worth it. It's completely and totally worth it to us. The 12-week mastermind, okay, is in-out expert Brandon Chapman. It will start October 3rd. All sessions are recorded and archived. Okay. You can even play back a session at 2 times the speed. He sounds like a chipmunk. It's awesome. We're going to get to structuring the trade. We're going to get to advanced setups. Advanced setups include what? Aspects like expected move, executing upon a trading plan over there, and all the questions you could possibly ask, and email support. We provide email support, not just for the 12 weeks, for the life of this. For the life, I don't care, lifetime email support. You want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me. Okay, that's important. Nobody does that crap. That's worth $1,000 alone. Okay, forget about even the alerts, forget about even the mastermind. Okay, we will answer your questions and they're trade related questions. You don't have to tell me my dog's girlfriend's friend, okay, had a question about a trade. Just come out with it. Like I've had every brokerage license imaginable. I've seen it all before. It's okay, right? It's seriously, it's okay. All right, continuing on over here. So on demand 24 lifetime access. So this is the actual masterclass. This is the in-out advantage masterclass. So we give you a full, it's a 3-hour class, and then there's an hour Q&A attached to the class. This particular class, right? It's in the can, it's ready to go. It is real and it is spectacular. I actually put a huge amount of time and effort specifically into this class. So by all means, tune into the class. Okay, here's another one where I'm pretty adamant about it. Like, look, people, We want, okay, we want people that want to take the time and want to learn this stuff. Look, if you're just here for the alerts, that's fine. Okay. But if you're going to take alerts for the next, couple of years, 5, 10 years, and you realize the cost per alert is so negligible, I think it's worth the 3 hours to spend going through the class. Listen to it at 2 times the speed. I just saved you an hour and a half. Okay. I think it's more than worthwhile. So that's another $1,000 value in there. Okay. All right. Weekly position updates and upcoming opportunities. Each Friday morning, I record approximately an 8-minute update. That 8-minute update is specific about opportunities. Okay. What opportunities? Like, first of all, I cover what trades we're in. So this week I'll talk about XLU, I'll talk about TLT, okay, I'll talk about a trade that I just closed and closed profitably, but I'm going to actually look at a number of trades, right, that we already have on, and then I'm actually going to look on the horizon and say, what am I thinking about putting on, right? And that's going to include stuff like, I was mentioning a moment ago, obviously I've got the TLT trade on in here, okay, and again, you can see the size. This is leftover from yesterday. There's still another 800 contracts coming in, because people always ask me, like, who's doing this stuff? Okay, look at the contract size. Look at it. All right. I mean, that's how you tell like who's trading and who's not. Okay. There's, again, over 10,000 contracts were traded into this. That's one of the reasons also you got to be the GOAT in terms of liquidity. So we detail not only the trades that we're in, but them are the trades that I'm looking at. And there could be anywhere from 3 to 4 trades that I'll just be like, okay, I could do this one, this one, this one. I'm just waiting for the profit window to actually open. Okay. And when it opens, we'll jump on it. And that has a lot to do though with that expected move. Okay. In-out, by the way, is completely unique from that. All right, onward. Step-by-step beginner friendly. There's a quick start beginner's guide specifically for the in-out advantage. It's a $500 value. And what this basically does just takes you through, okay, some of the basics over here. When I mean the basics is, where do I even start? Okay, like if I were to come here, like, where do I even start? Because that's where people get lost here, is they get, a little rambunctious. They said, where do I even start? How about we have an entire start here menu? Okay. We have a start here menu. When I say start here, it's options 101. Okay. Options 201. All right. Options 301. So we actually have an entire start here, a specific start here menu to kind of walk you through and give you, again, some of the details effectively behind, hey, where do I start? Okay. By the way, Leo was like, please email me the quick start. We will. We'll email you everything. Okay. I mean, we shoot you an email with the password. You got to go in there. You got to log in. Okay. You got to log in. You actually got to tune in some of the videos. Okay. And there's full PDF files to include on all of these. So when it comes to the actual master class, we give you the slide deck and specific criteria. There's criteria to get into this trade. When I'm talking about like confluence events, okay, when I'm talking about liquidity, when I'm talking about expected move, okay, we have detailed step-by-step entry criteria specifically for that. All right, a couple of names I'm reading off. I see a couple of people kind of coming through here. Philip C. from California, okay. Dwight R. from Florida, Julia C. from Minnesota, Chris P. from Texas, Jeff T. from Illinois. I'm just reading off first batch of names. By the way, it takes me about 7 minutes. Okay, it takes me about 7 minutes before I see your name populate. These are individuals, we see you, that have enrolled, obviously, okay, are included in the 90-day money back guarantee on there. All right, okay, real-time portfolio updates. When we trade, okay, I instantaneously will update, okay, the portfolio. So when I say I'm going to update the portfolio is a spreadsheet. I'm constantly adding to that spreadsheet as we move along. So not a problem whatsoever. You've actually got the portfolio. You've got access to it. I never want you to feel, okay, like, oh, I missed this trade, or maybe I missed that trade. Look, you don't have to take every single trade. Okay, you can pick and choose. And of course, some people like to do every single trade that we do. Fantastic. Okay, the trades are, yours to take advantage of. As I said, it's about 52 trades a year. And right now, this year, we're actually tracking ahead of that, not behind. We're actually slightly ahead of it because the opportunities have just been coming. Okay. By the way, we trade on a number of different platforms. You can use Thinkorswim, you can use Tasty. Okay, there's a few of them that we can use. We never have to worry about options approval. We've got you there. I'll come to that in a moment. All right, custom built. Okay, forward-looking optics. This is actually expected move. Okay, it's a retail value of $500. Look, everything you get, trade alerts. Okay, a 12-week mastermind, and I'm going to tell you right now, trade alerts. Okay, unbelievable value in here because it's a lifetime access. Okay, it's lifetime access to it. In addition to it, all right, there's a 12-week mastermind. In any other place, like literally, you go anywhere, 12 weeks, okay, of not just support, but literally detailed instruction. Each one of those sessions is anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes, okay, where he's actually going to walk you through every aspect of the in-out spread because there are some people in here that like they just want to eat the sausage. Some people want to know exactly how the sausage is made. That is what Brandon Chapman is going to do with you. I'll probably be popping in to many of those masterminds as well. So I want to make sure everybody's very comfortable with it, but I'll pop into the masterminds as well. Okay. The masterclass. The masterclass is a 3-hour kind of curated masterclass. You'll receive all of my slides, which is in a PDF format. There's also very detailed criteria. When I'm talking about criteria, specifics, step-by-step guidance to be able to get in and out of these trades, auto expected move, the weekly video update, okay, quick start beginner's guide, and of course, the trade tracker in here. Look, again, everything included, it's $997. Okay, so it's theotrade.com/out. Okay, theotrade.com/out. You know, there's a great question. I'm going to actually go into some detailed questions here in a moment. Let me actually answer this one though. Account size. Okay, the only restriction ever on account size, it must be a $2,000 account. That's not my restriction. Okay, it's not a brokerage firm restriction. That's actually FINRA. Okay, FINRA says you have to have $2,000 in your account, okay, to effectively place spreads and spread trades. All right, on the 90-day money back guarantee. All right, we have 100 spots. Again, there is unlimited. One of the extra bonuses in here, there is unlimited email mentoring with this. Okay, that's again, it's access to everything that we're talking about today. Unlimited email mentoring. That's worth $1,000 alone. The retail value is $8,382. Okay, it's $1,000 today. Again, it's theotrade.com/out. And I just always want people to know about the money back guarantee because it's critically important, right? If you need, just call us 623-244-5657. Okay, again, theotrade.com/out. I'm going to answer a couple of general questions for you and then get into some specifics. First of all, get into the in-out advantage now. There's 100 spots on the TheoTrade riskless deal. We do that specifically to incentivize people to enroll, obviously, today. Okay. I say a matter of trade size. We send alerts. Okay. Look, at some point, okay, in-out spreads, that's the in-out advantage, it's going to cut off, meaning that once we're full, we're full. We are doing right now approximately 5,000 contracts, people. Okay. Every time that we actually send out a notification, we're doing over 5,000 contracts. So it is a matter of trade size. Okay. And again, one of the reasons we're like, lifetime access over here. Why do we do that? Okay. To provide longevity to every one of our clientele. Unlimited email mentoring. By the way, you can also send us your trades. Okay. If you want to build some of your own trades in here, by all means, send us your trades. Look, we've never done the $1,000 riskless offer. Okay, with lifetime access and Brandon Chapman's 12-week mastermind. There's no stipulations, money back guarantee. As I said, I'm going to give you a little bit of a Q&A and then answer some of the questions specifically in here. Okay. All right, questions as they come in. All right, people always ask me what we need to get started. You need a laptop, internet connection. We have everything you're going to need to get started. Absolute novice to most extreme traders. Okay, I'll actually make the argument really quick. I used to always say we need a laptop, internet connection. Here, you need a phone. That's it. Everything that we do now can be executed over any Android, iOS. It doesn't matter to us. Our software, or I should say our app, works on both Android or iOS. It's totally fine. So hit any app store, after enrolling, go to TheoTrade, and we'll actually help you download, okay, the mobile, of course, app. Mobile app. Why is it important? Because it does provide push notification, but on the mobile app, we'll also give you access, okay, to the archives. That is to actually be able to watch the masterclass. You can actually watch it directly off of your phone. All right, you can be completely disconnected from the internet to actually to be able to watch some of that. So you could be at 30,000 feet, download it. It's good to go. Okay. Craig C. from Oregon, just seeing some names come through. All right. This is not a membership. We don't auto renew, bill again. Lifetime access. Okay. It's lifetime access. That's it. It's $1,000 lifetime access. Now we're providing, okay, Trade Tracker, weekly video updates so you can follow all the moves that we make. What does that actually involve? As I've gone through time and again, okay, you basically get access to a video. In fact, you know what? I think I'm actually going to show this to you. So bear with me as I actually show you specifically, okay, those videos and video updates. So I'm actually going to take you directly into this, okay, so you guys can actually see some of the portfolios, Trade Tracker, and really, okay, the in-out trades themselves. So these videos, as you actually go into them, okay, on a weekly basis, I apologize, I'm trying to pull up a site here at the exact same time, okay, the videos, okay, they average, here we go. Here we go. So this is obviously the in-out advantage, okay, and you can take a quick glance some of the videos that we've got. September, okay, August, and you can just click on a video, and what we actually do in the video, as I said, they're usually about 8 minutes long. This one's about 7 minutes. Okay, just going to walk you through. Okay, literally verbatim, exactly the trades that we have on. Okay, IWM that I was actually shopping, XLE. Okay, and the expected move. I'm literally taking you through step by step. Again, stuff like this. I mean, people will pay thousands and thousands of dollars for. Okay, it's included. It's just part of it. Got to update you on the trades. Want you guys to feel really, really comfortable with it. Okay. Onward over here. Okay. By the way, if you buy it, it's lifetime. Okay. I don't know why anybody would think otherwise. It's absolutely, it's lifetime. Okay. Did I get Mario L from New Jersey? Sorry, just saw another name come through. So we give you video updates. All right. We're going to provide you access to our mobile application. You can view the archives at your leisure, get push notifications, add your cell phone number when enrolling. Let me actually take you back to the enrollment form over here. If I can find it, okay, which here it is on the enrollment form over here as you actually go through. And again, this is theotrade.com/out. As you scroll to the bottom of the form over here, okay, make sure that you actually put a valid number in. The phone number is specifically for text messaging. So wherever you want us to actually push those text messages to, that's the phone number that you predominantly would put in there. You could change it later if something happens, okay? It's completely and totally up to you. Again, you select payment options. That's also up to you. And as I said to you guys a moment ago, if you need to call us, okay, call us at 623-244-5657, okay? All right, moving along over here. Okay, Rafaela R. from New York, Irene N. from Oregon, Susan B. from California, Ann O. from Massachusetts. Again, reading off just a couple more names as we have a few of you guys who are enrolling. As I said, it takes me about 7 minutes before I actually see your name in here. So please don't be offended if I'm not reading off your name immediately. It takes me a minute to actually see it on here. Richard S. from Virginia, David R. from Oregon, Stephen T. from Arkansas, Abe F. from Canada. By the way, up in Canada, there's a few brokerage suggestions we have in there. That's where, people ask about, well, what about commissions? What about this? You're up in Canada, it matters. You can always email us. We'll give you a couple of suggestions of different brokerage firms up in the Canadian region. Robert P. from Texas. All right, we got through the cell phone number, so make sure you add your cell phone number. All right, you can email us anytime, receive a response within 24 hours, including trade-related questions. By the way, support at theotrade.com. I want everybody to know, okay, almost all the crew here at TheoTrade, including myself, okay, we've held many different brokerage licenses. Okay, I've had everything from my Series 3, which is actually principal for futures, Series 4, which is a principal for options, Obviously, my Series 7, my Series 24, which is principal broker dealer. I've had a Series 66, which is a 63 and 65 combined. I can go on and on and on. All the different licenses. I've actually done Canadian licenses, and over the years, I even did an Australian license, which was a P something or other. Can't even remember what it was. It was that many years ago. So what does that mean? It means I'm good at taking tests. But what it really means is we're more than happy to answer your trade related questions. Teresa H from Utah. All right. So variations of all the trades. Okay. I love it. I'm a Canadian engineer. Okay. I've never picked on a Canadian engineer today. Actually, I think I did earlier today. But variations of all the trades are available inside of an IRA. I want you guys to understand something. You can do this, okay, in an IRA. By the way, somebody said on the site, it says $99 a year. There's no additional fee in there, okay? No additional fee. I'm gonna make sure that we're good on that one. Making sure over there, okay? Anyway, Rodolfo from Texas, okay? Just getting your name in there. All right, so say the phone number again. All right, I'll get you the phone number. I'll put it up on the screen. 623-244, okay, 5657. Again, 623-244-5657, right? So hopefully you've got that. By the way, it is a Phoenix area code in here. So our offices are actually located in St. Croix in the Virgin Islands, predominantly because I moved there. But no one knows it's a 340 area code in the Virgin Islands, and everybody's like, "What is this weird area code?" So we went back to like a 623 area code, made a little bit more sense in there for us. Whoops. Okay. Look, we can actually do this in an IRA. We can actually give the brokerage firms to do that. All right. One other aspect, we at TheoTrade can help you get approved for options at several major brokers. So remember, there's 100 riskless spots left, and we're about 60, 70 through that. I know I was reading off a couple of names in here. Look, get results. Okay, take action, enroll for TheoTrade now. There's no risk. Again, I'll leave you on the 90-day money back guarantee. That is it's one of the most important things to us. All right, we want everybody that's here, okay, to be ecstatic with the products, obviously, that they have here. All right, I'm going to pull up the site here real quick and throw this up here. I'm going to answer some specific questions. Okay, wrap up any details that you guys need wrapped up. Okay. All right. By the way, somebody said, I do not see the masterclass listed under Brandon Chapman. The masterclass, okay, is live. We're doing the masterclass live. We have more than enough individuals that have actually enrolled. We're actually going to do the masterclass live with Brandon Chapman. So that starts, okay, October 3rd. Again, that starts October 3rd. In fact, I can pull the details up specifically for that as I kind of scroll back in here. Starts October 3rd, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, all sessions are recorded and archived from that. Okay, so Bitcoiner actually asked, does it work? Okay, on options and futures. So can you do this on options and futures? Yes. However, sir, okay, liquidity. There's options and futures. So if you said, oh, well, I could do it on gold, you might as well just trade GLD. If you were, because your nickname is Bitcoiner in there, there's actually crypto is being approved. Some of the ETFs now are being approved for options. So you got that going for you as well. Okay. Linda, everything is recorded. Every spoken word here at TheoTrade is recorded, like literally every single word. In fact, we have an archive, okay, that we can hit since 2016. Every spoken word is in here. Okay, so well, results. So the most recent results. Okay, and again, we can go back all the way to like 2016, and we have that. You guys can look in the TheoTrade tracker and go back for years and years and years. Okay, the most recent results. Right now we're actually trading. We're 23 for 27, I believe. Okay, right now, and again, I'm just the guy that sits here and executes trades. And when you are taking a loss in here, invariably that loss is only usually a portion, okay, of whatever you have at risk. So if you risk like $90, okay, it's typical that you will not lose the full $90, on that, or $900. So we mitigate degrees of risk just depending upon time frame and so forth. Nevertheless, again, feel free to take a look through some of the track records in there. And obviously, I provided you guys a bunch of trades that I showed you. Somebody was asking me earlier, one of the more recent losses. So I can tell you one that I am going to lose on, okay? Unless pull out a little bit of a wild miracle. By the way, the sign of a good trader, okay? Show the losing trades, not the winning trades. The winning trades are pretty easy, okay? I actually like to show the losing trades. So this one, all right, this one, I tell you, not too many trades like really like keep you up at night. The number of times this thing is hitting, this is XLU, it's utilities. Okay. First of all, I just want to point this out before I go any further. XLU, it's utilities. Does that look like utilities? Does that look like the latest, greatest tech stock? Okay. Like if there's a reason, okay, to stay awake at night worried about markets, it's the utilities. Why are the utilities up 20, almost 5% a year-to-date basis? Just throwing that one out for you. Okay. Look, what I did in utilities is it was the absolute perfect setup, and we pulled back. It just wasn't enough. The pullback wasn't enough. This thing has been absolutely relentless to the upside. I could have been somebody right here. Okay. It just didn't pull back enough, and it pulled back over here. It's just not enough, people. I got into it in this neighborhood here, but it has been wild to the upside. Okay. That is one of the scarier trades that I've seen in recent history. Okay. And I'm not talking about my own trade. I don't care. My own trade, whatever. I think I lost like $85 in there or whatever, $85, per contract. If you did 10 contracts, you lose $850 with timeout. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that utilities, okay, are this hot. That actually sends me like screaming right now, when I look at that. So, by the way, Brandon Chapman will actually use that trade specifically for a bunch of examples, because we both look at it and you kind of, there's some trades that you get into, you shake your head. I kind of feel when I look at utilities though, okay, in all seriousness, I think that's actually going to be one of the greatest losing trades I ever have. And you go, what? That doesn't make any sense. No, because it's a sign, okay, of the marketplace. It's a sign of the times. It's actually a sign of people. They're fleeing into utilities. Okay, run, James B from Hawaii. All right, so okay, yeah, the interest rates in there, it's just crazy. Okay. By the way, of course, we send out texts on all like opening and closing trades. Every open, every close, every winner, every loser. It's completely no holds barred. Okay. So yes, we've absolutely tracked these trades since 2016. I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's a lot of data. Okay. Richard K from Arizona. I'm just reading off a few names as they come through over here. Okay, so somebody said the average, like how much time, right? It varies. It varies based on the profit window, okay, that's opened at that particular time. In fact, the course work, that 3-hour course, will actually take you through exactly that. I am going to say this. I don't want to like mislead you, but I want you to understand this. Even if the trade is done for 30 days, it can close, okay, within 48 hours profitably. I'm going to say that again. Even if the trade was put on for 30 days, it can close like 48 hours profitably. Okay. So you do need $2,000, as Jeff was just stating again in the chat over there. Okay. Average trade in here is in the neighborhood, and this is more recently. Okay, the average trade time has actually narrowed down. Okay, to about 11 to 12 days. It's right between 11 and 12 days. Okay, and that's trading days. So I know there's calendar days, but it's 11 to 12 trading days is the average hold, Rob, in there. We have a lot of trades that were out, 72 hours or out, 48 hours afterwards, because that timing window closes, the underlying moves, and it's over and done with. All right, so I think I've got most of the questions actually answered in here. I'm actually going to leave it there for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's theotrade.com/out. Again, theotrade.com/out. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. Have a wonderful afternoon and bye bye.